Wii Wonders!
Welcome, wonderful watchers, to Wii Wonders, a Wii game review series by me, Souldin of the Grin brothers. This episode will cover the Wii game Trauma Center Second Opinion, a medical simulation game developed by Atlus and published by Nintendo. Let's begin playing then. It's Waggle Time!
Story time!
With rapid advancements in medical science, thanks in part to an organization dedicated to eradicating incurable diseases, Catacus International, things such as cancer and AIDS are almost a thing of the past in the distant future of 2018. Folks around the world still get sick, of course, and require operating on by surgeons such as our protagonist, Derek Stiles. Derek is a recently qualified full-time surgeon at Hope Hospital, where he'll be encountering typical hospital-related problems such as balancing his work schedule, coping with a critical nurse, and dealing with emergency operations. Oh, and also medical terrorists, Greek god powers, and a bomb. Somehow, the bomb is one of the more normal parts of this game. Assisting Derek in his operations on patients infected by the range of man-made diseases categorized under the name of guilt are a number of hospital staff and counter-terrorist organization members, each with distinct looks and personalities. Key among these is nurse Angie Thompson. One serves as Derek's surgical assistant, a rather judgmental character with key connections to some of the ongoing mysteries within this game. Speaking of mystery, there is also an additional playable character in this game, Japanese-born surgeon Nozomi Weavers. She is a highly skilled surgeon shrouded in mystery, and whose plot involving her dealings with equally mysterious characters is one that runs concurrently with Derek's storyline, although the plot threads do eventually meet up through the final chapter. Trauma Center Second Opinion is often listed under the visual novel category, presenting Derek's tireless treatments of guilt-infected patients through many still-imaged and text-heavy cutscenes, resulting in the story being a key aspect when considering this game. As such, the specifics are best left to be witnessed by the players themselves, particularly with the intriguing mysteries of Delphi. Without spoiling things, I can say that not every story component may be to your liking, and the mixture of some may even be detrimental to another. The story is certainly well presented thanks to appropriately chosen music that enhances the intended emotions,
I will save this patient.
but its more realistic and supernatural elements can clash. The story chooses to address complex issues such as euthanasia, but it's a little bit difficult to explore when one of the characters is blessed by the Greek god of medicine and can slow down time.
It make it easier?
You may even prefer one style to another and favour particular chapters on that basis, be it the medical investigations of Chapter 4, the suicidal patient of Chapter 2, or other chapters. Plenty of interesting characters push the story forward, with protagonists Derek and Nozomi making for a pair of different but enjoyable characters. Derek is nice and self-sacrificing, yet with evident flaws that make you want to defend him in the numerous occasions he is berated. Nozomi is much more ethically complex, and through her eyes you are allowed a fascinating insight into the world of Trauma Center. My personal favourite character was Victor, the head of research and development for Catacus USA, whose large ego and myriad of insults towards everyone proved consistently entertaining. My least liked character was Angie, whose myriad of insults are directed solely towards Derek, which makes for a poor first impression, with this following scene really lowering my opinions of her.
Angie!
She may be cute, But with such scenes, along with how she is never called out on her faults, makes it hard to like her and dampens many of the key emotional dramas she is involved with. A key bit of trivia regarding this game is that it is a mostly enhanced port of a DS game, Trauma Center Under the Knife, with Nozomi's entire inclusion being one of these appreciated enhancements. The epilogue chapter where Derek and Nozomi team up is also a new addition, though this strangely replaces the final chapter of the original game, wherein Derek's confrontation with the leader of Delphi is presented now via a wall of text. As such, to get the full story of Trauma Center Second Opinion, you may need to play the original Nintendo DS version as well.
Instruction time!
I have not experienced the original stylus controls this game had in its DS iteration, but I will say that the Wii Remote controls do well to deliver the surgical experience. A steady hand is required as you wield a number of medical instruments via the Wii Remote and its pointer, or for simple menu navigation. The nunchuck is even used in the level select screen, with its Z and C buttons used to smoothly switch between difficulty settings. Within surgery though, the primary purpose of the nunchuck is to select surgical tools, with each of the 8 directions of the control stick corresponding to a different tool. With no additional buttons required to equip the tool, the control setup allows for swift switching when required, and potential bumbling about with the wrong tool if you're not precise enough. The Z button also gets some minimal usage in-game, when held along with the Wii Remote's B button and drawing a star on the screen to activate the Healing Touch. Not all of the surgical implements are selected via the nunchuck, as there are situational ones such as defibrillators, which are handed to you when required, or bandages, which are selectable via the Wii Remote at the end of each surgery. As for the usage of the tools once equipped, almost every one of them is used either by holding the A and or B button whilst moving the Wii Remote, or by simply moving the tool's cursor where you want to activate it and pressing the A and or B button to do so. The act of using the wide range of surgical tools is easy to understand and transition between, with a true challenge in grasping the controls coming from how precise you can be. I have mentioned precision a couple or so times in this review, and that is because this game demands it. Ultimately, the lack of sensitivity options to adjust the game for a wider audience is the one glaring flaw within this game's control scheme.
Action time!
To play Trauma Center Second Opinion, you need to read lines of text and click the A button to proceed, or use the minus button to fast forward and skip, a part of the controls I now realise I forgot. This covers the visual novel gameplay elements, so let's talk about the actually interactive surgical simulation / puzzle gameplay. After selecting an episode, which isn't purely story content, you go through the typical process of map screen / conservation, to operation briefing, to procedure, and then to the results screens, or game over. Lots and lots of game overs.
That was hard.
I will save this patient.
The map screen / conservation is purely for setup, and the operation briefing is there for even more setup and to explain what you need to do. Admittedly, the operation briefing is a little redundant in most cases due to how nearly all operations start the same, how often unexpected events occur within the procedure that alters what you need to do, and how often Angie or other characters will inform you on what you need to do. To be fair, the changing nature of surprise developments is an exciting one, which makes levels more fun and challenging, whilst the advices of assistants is helpful when you're learning about new tools and features. Each procedure, though, is a battle against the clock, aiming to complete a successful operation and keep the patient's vitals from falling to zero in a timely manner. You'll be stitching up lacerations, draining away hemorrhaging blood, and incinerating parasites with lasers within 3, 5, and 10-minute time limits. As you operate on a myriad of complications, you'll need to keep a keen eye on the patient's vitals and ensure that they don't drop to zero, through means such as rubbing on antibiotic gel or injecting medicine with syringes. I often spend any spare second I could get injecting my patients with as much medicine as possible. As mentioned, the procedure can develop quite differently to what is relayed to you in the operation briefing, and that is often as a result of the guilt disease. The symptoms of guilt and how they act are numerous, but as mentioned, Angie and Co will chip in and tell you what to do. Constantly. This is welcomed at first in helping you to learn the purpose of each tool, but the many pauses and consistent screen blocking become annoying, interrupting your flow and obscuring parasites you're hunting down. After all, it is to the game's credit that you quickly gain an understanding as to how to apply each tool in numerous creative scenarios, and only end up with misunderstandings when a lack of precision causes you to think a tool is ineffective. Throughout the surgery and the many tasks it entails, you'll see various gradings of cool, good, bad, okay, and miss pop up, because in the middle of the surgery is the perfect time to be judged for your style. These are arcade-fashion score indicators, and through maintaining score combos as well as achieving special bonuses such as not using Healing Touch in the operation, you'll improve your end-of-episode rank presented to you on the results screen. One last mechanic to mention is the Healing Touch, as when the pressure is on to piece the bones in someone's arm together, rapidly remove regenerating viruses, or defuse a ticking time bomb, our protagonists can call upon the powers of the god of medicine to draw satanic symbols and slow down time.
Using the power of Satan.
In there.
There we go. Power of Satan. Almost killed my patient with the power of Satan. Which, you think would be more common.
In some levels, for story purposes, it is mandatory. In others, it is a helpful skill that can make the difference between success or game over. The gameplay is solid thanks to a firm basis that is inventively used. Derek's surgical skills translate well to bomb disposal and puzzle solving, while score tracking and a range of difficulties encourage replayability. Be warned though, this game is hard!
Ending time.
Waggle time is over and 2 questions left to answer as follows. What are my overall thoughts on this game and who do I recommend this game for? To loosely quote a fellow gamer in regards to Trauma Center Second Opinion, it sometimes feels like it'd be easier performing real surgery. This quote resurfaced in mind in particular when I accepted that I could not complete this game. For all of its positives, from its excellent basis, its varied levels, emotion-driving sounds and tunes, decent character designs and engaging plot lines, that one glaring flaw with its controls proves to be a mighty obstacle to me, a lack of sensitivity options. My hands shook too much to allow me the combined precision and swiftness to handle the onslaught of the second-to-last episode, even on easy difficulty. This is a fun game, a creative game, and a hard game. For those looking for a challenge then, I fully recommend this game. For those with shaky hands, be it from cold climate or medical reasons, then I advise against this game. For those who enjoy fast-paced puzzle games with arcade stylings, then here's a game for you. If you prefer thinking man's puzzles where you take your time to generate your own solution, then I'd pass on this one. If you like medical dramas, crime dramas, and bizarre supernatural elements, then this game happens to be a mix of all three. Whether you will choose to play the Wii Wonder that is Trauma Center Second Opinion is up to you. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I thank you for watching.
I don't know how they pronounce it actually. Catasis, Europe.
Thank you for watching. Cheerio!